First item on, first of all, let's all just, commissioners identify ourselves. Karen Kravitz, present.
Pasquale Izzo, present.
Stephanie, do you want to identify? You're on mute.
Stephanie, you're on mute.
I'm here. Steph Charleglio, present.
Thank
Sorry.
you. Mike Hort.
Present.
Okay. And we don't have Bruce, is that correct?
We do not have Bruce yet.
Okay, other present, if you wish to identify yourselves.
Nate Case.
Chief
Chief Rowland.
and Fire Marshal Joe Capucci.
Good evening.
Good evening. Anybody else?
Assistant Chief Ted Pockwitz.
Assistant Chief?
Joe Crisco.
Tina.
Hi, Joe. Thanks
Hi.
for being. Okay, do we have any other liaisons?
Donovan.
Board of Finance.
Okay. Hi, welcome.
Nate Case is here too.
Yes, thanks, Nate. Okay. All right, the next item on the agenda is public comment. Do we have any public comments? Have we received any public comments?
We have not.
Nope.
All right, liaison comments?
Joe, you
Right.
have anything?
No, deep appreciation for everybody's service. Keep up the work. Good work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Donovan, you have anything, bud?
Nothing on my end.
Okay.
And Nate, have anything?
Yep, not right now, no, sorry.
Okay. Chairman's report is going to be reserved for executive session. Number 5 on the agenda is COVID-19 update.
A COVID-19 update. Numbers are dropping, as we could all see in the news. We're at 4.87% right now as of today. 340 people in the hospital in Connecticut. The rates are trending downward, which is really good. So I know a month ago we were way up there. We're like above 20%, 25%. That did include the at-home tests when people were testing positive. So there was really no way of knowing exactly where we stood, but the numbers are trending down and continuing to trend down, which they were anticipated to do. So that's a good sign. The department was at remote status for part of December and all of January. And we came back meeting in person a week ago. So numbers are looking good, and hopefully they stay like that and get better.
Great. Thank you. Number 6 is review of current financial statements.
Yep. So if we look at the current financial statement, the lines just to keep an eye on are repair maintenance machine. That's our repair maintenance line for equipment, trucks, apparatus. That line is always going to be tight, and usually we go over. Last year we went over, but we had money in our budget to offset it and do some line item transfers to cover it. But most likely we're probably going to end up going over that line. I just don't know by how much, and we'll figure out as we get closer. But I'll be in contact with the finance director to monitor that line and see what we can do. But we really won't know that for another few months. So it's a line to keep an eye out on. And technical is another line. Supplies are just really high right now. We're trying to do the best we can, but cost of everything is going up. So with that, costs go up. So we're going to keep an eye on that line right now. Everything else seems to be okay right now. And we'll go from there. I know part-time maintenance, we talked about that a month ago for the last couple of months. It shows a $2,500 overage. We submitted a memo, talked to the finance director about it. What they decided to do, that's the line to clean the building for William. They decided to let that go a little bit and then figure out how to fund it when we get closer toward the end of the fiscal year, which would be probably in May or June. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Okay. Can you just talk to us about let's see, communication telephone line that's over?
Yeah, so we're going to keep an eye on that. We knew that line was going to go over. I don't think it's over by that much right now. So we have some issues with the telephone. We're rectifying it right now, but hopefully we'll work on that and get that number back. And if it goes over a little bit, I'm sure we can find some money in other places to do some line item transfers to cover that.
Is that just your landline?
Yeah, that's the lines for the building.
Okay.
Hey, Sean, it's Bruce. I'm on the line.
Okay, Bruce.
Hi, Bruce.
Hey, Karen.
Okay. So that is some kind of repair or replacement that
It's not a repair or replacement. We have a service contract with them. We
Mhm.
changed phones about a year ago. They work really well. We're just trying to fine tune some of the issues we're having with them, but overall, we'll be okay. We went over on that line last year also, which we knew we were going to. So in the budget this year, we anticipated where we need to be, and we reflected in our budget that we just submitted to the Board of Selectmen, Board of Finance for FY23.
So that's just the service maintenance contract is more than what was budgeted to us for that?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. Anybody else have questions?
I know one of the questions that came up quite a bit was the electric for the building. So that line we know is going to go over because we're paying an additional $800 a month. I think it's 808. That line we're going to be paid off. We reflected it into the budget in FY23, and before we submitted it, after we submitted it, we realized the payback. We're done paying that in this fiscal year. Sometime I think it's in May or June, and it'd be the last payment, and then we'll go back to somewhat of a normal bill. But cost of electricity did go up, so we did reflect it. I think next year's budget we went up to, I think, 39,000 from 36,000.
Okay.
Sean,
Like-
just to let you know, cost of electricity didn't go up. The usage went up. We have a fixed price plan on electricity. So it wouldn't be the amount, it would be the usage.
Okay.
And do we know why usage went up?
Probably weather. You're running the boilers more.
Well, it could be that, Karen, it could be that the building now is, I don't know, 12 years old, 13 years, going on 13 years. So some of the equipment's getting older. So it's probably not as efficient as it was when we first started.
Sorry, is the heat electric?
No,
but go ahead, Sean.
So the heat is natural gas, but there's fans, there's electric going to it.
Okay.
I mean, we run air compressors. There's a lot. We run a breathing air compressor, a tire compressor. We run quite a bit of heavy equipment over here to keep everything up. The trucks are plugged in 24/7, 365. So we draw power. It's not like we're not, but it's going to be interesting to see because I know the town entered into an agreement, I thought, for solar. So we're supposed to get some type of solar on I think it's the backside of the firehouse. So I don't know how much that's going to offset, if any, or if it's just going to keep our number where it should be, even though our usage might be going up.
Okay. All right, that's interesting to see. I mean, the whole point was to realize some savings, right? So hopefully we will.
I think we're kind of tough to be a department that's going to save electricity when we're probably one of the biggest generators through the town departments for electricity because we're using so much equipment and we're keeping the trucks plugged in 24/7, 365.
Yeah, no, nobody's questioning that. Just the idea that we entered into this energy contract, right? With the idea that it would save us money on electric bills and utility bills. So hopefully it will. Okay. I don't have any further questions unless anybody else has any questions on the operating budget. On the no. Fire chief
No.
for support.
All right, so we have quite a bit to talk about. Let me just start off. This year we had between last year and the beginning part of this year, January, February, and last year we took in 5 new firefighters, which is a really good thing, even though volunteerism in the fire service is really struggling right now across the country and in Connecticut. So it's actually a really good thing that we're bringing in. We brought 5 new firefighters in. The other good thing is we also actually have a really, really good junior program, and that's thanks to Lieutenant Baradeska and Lieutenant Redmond. We have 8 juniors in that program. So how it works is basically they start at 15 years old. They go through, if they join at 16, 17. Once they turn 18, they come off of the junior program and hopefully they submit an application and join the fire department. And it's a smooth transition. They come in and the town benefits from that program greatly. And we've seen it in years past. So with COVID and everything else, we actually expanded 5 new firefighters in the last year, which is a really good thing. With that, there's going to be added expenses. We have to provide them physicals every year. We have to provide them turnout gear, fit testing, all the expenses that come along with it, but a radio, a pager. So even though it costs us money, but it's really good because we could really use the membership here. Last month we did bloodborne pathogens training. We did fit testing last night and today, meaning everybody's air mask has to get fit tested once a year to them. We did that last night and today, and the people that couldn't make it, we're going to be doing it again on the 1st, so we'll get everybody through that. We did air pack. They did air pack testing today. With the air packs, we had we had 19 air packs. We had a bad gauge on 19 of them, which hopefully they're going to know in a few weeks if they all are covered under warranty, but they were able to be fixed. So they're 100%, they're all passed, and we're just seeing if they're going to be covered under warranty. Otherwise, we're looking at a $4,000 plus bill. So hopefully keep our fingers crossed, we're good on that. We have one guy right now, one firefighter in EMT class in Bethany. And that class should be wrapping up in June or beginning, I think the end of June. And we have another firefighter that's going to start an EMT class in June. And it's going to be an accelerated class for 1 month. And it's like a 180-hour program. So it's basically going to go to school for 5 days a week. And I think a Saturday, 2 Saturdays, and take his test and we'll have 2 new EMTs hopefully by July. So that's really good.
It's great.
Engineering is doing a fabulous job trying to keep the trucks on the road. We do have one issue. Engine 3 has been out of service for about a week and a half now. That's the new E1. We have an issue where the PTO isn't playing nice with the compressor on the truck and some other components. So E1 engineering is involved, Watrous pump is involved, hail pump is involved. So we're looking into what we got to do to rectify the problem. So we have all the experts in, and they're trying to research it and find a fix for the problem. But the truck could be out another few weeks while the fix is happening. It's basically what's happening is we put the truck in the CAFS mode, compressed air foam mode, the PTO is locking up and it's grinding. So that's not good. And we can't use the CAF system right now. If we wanted to flow conventional water, we could. So the truck works on that end, but we're just having an issue on the CAFS end, and they have to fix that and work that out. So we'll be monitoring that and figuring out our next steps there. But the good thing with that is it's all under warranty, so we won't see a bill on that at all. We started, since there's been no movement on the shed in the back to try to organize the equipment, we needed to do something across the street to organize the equipment, and just so we know what we have, and when we need it, we don't have to go and jump over things to try to get equipment and pull it out to go to an emergency scene. So we purchased purchased some shelving. We are organizing the old building to put the equipment up on shelves and inventory it, so we know exactly what we have, where we have it. So when we need it, we can go in there and be safe about it, grab the equipment and go. So we've been working on that the last few weeks. We're going to work on getting rid of one of the storage trailers out in the parking lot there, so we can get rid of one of those. We sent the PO in. I know we talked about this. We sent the PO in to Silver Petrocelli. They're going to do a study on the new firehouse, not the old firehouse, the new firehouse, the ventilation system, to upgrade some of the stuff, because with COVID, and also to maybe control the heat and air conditioning a little bit better than what it is. So that costed us $5,000, but hopefully when they come back with a report, the town might be able to use some of that federal money that they're getting to upgrade the system here. And that would be good for ventilation purposes, to maybe the day room, dispatch, some of the other key areas, to ventilate those rooms a little bit better than they are now, based on what's been going on with COVID and what we're trying to do for air purification, ionization, possibly, filtering, exchanging air. So we're gonna look at those things and see what the best possible outcome we can do with. And with that, we might be able to keep our energy costs down a little bit more by having more of an efficient system than what we have right now. We're watching the storm for tomorrow night into Friday. We're supposed to be getting high winds, a lot of rain. So we have our equipment all set, ready to go in case we start losing trees and power lines. So we'll be ready to go. We did a couple fires. We did a standby back when we were going to have that blizzard. We had a standby here. It started at 7:30 in the morning, went to 5 o'clock at night, and we were able to release everybody. Thank God the storm wasn't what they thought it might be. We may have ended up with feet of snow, and we didn't end up with that much, but better safe than sorry. The dance that we're looking at, that we normally have, we're looking to do it this year. Right now, it's up in the air. We're trying to determine whether we can do the dance. Right now, we have a schedule for April 9th. We're unsure. We're going to be checking with the JCC, checking with the membership, seeing we're making some phone calls around to see if people would feel comfortable going out to an event like that, or we might end up canceling that event this year, doing some other fundraising events this year to bring some money into the association so we can continue doing the things we do for the town. So I'll keep you guys posted on that.
Well, I just wanted to step back for a second, say thank you to everyone who participated in the standby during the storm. And my understanding from Chief Rowland is that he had everybody working the whole time you were there. So just want to say thank you to everybody for that. And I hope that you're able to do the snowflake dance. If you call me and ask me, I will tell you I will be there. But I understand we just have to wait and see what happens.
One other thing, FDIC this year, some of you may remember a few years ago, we went to Indianapolis. That's the big fire expo, and that's when all the new stuff gets released. There's roughly 11 or 1,200 vendors there. All the new trucks, all the new equipment gets released. You get to demo it, see it, play with it. So what I'd like to do, since we haven't gone in probably 3 years, I'd like to go back there this year. Probably take 2 or 3 guys total, and go out there. So I'd like permission from the Commissioner for Out-of-State Travel to go out there to FDIC again this year. And it actually ends up being really good for us because we can see the equipment that we're specing and putting on the new truck and on the current vehicles that we have. And we've made a lot of changes over the years. When we started going to these, we realized that the technology keeps changing and we need to keep up on it to go where we need to go. So I would ask us to go out there again.
Do you have an estimated cost for that, and what are the dates?
The dates are April 27th through the 30th of April. I don't have the actual estimated cost yet, but I can't see it being a lot because airfare is, when I checked it, it was way down, and hotels weren't that crazy. So
Okay, how do you want to wait and present us with?
we need to book it now because we won't be able to book it in another month. We'll never get in because it fills up really quick. It's actually it's filling up right now.
Do you
I
mean
like
you have?
permission to move forward, and then we can go through it later. And then if we had to cancel later, we can.
Okay, so there's three things. There's the plane, a hotel, and the cost of the conference.
Yep.
Do you know what the cost of the conference is to attend?
If you give me 1 second. Hang on 1 second. Can we come back to that during this meeting? And I'll get those numbers for you.
Of course.
How
Okay.
many people would be going?
2 to 3 people.
2 or 3. Okay.
We used to send 5, so this one would only be 2 to 3. But it's a really good. So there's a lot of training going on there. So basically, you would sign up for training sessions, and you go in, and it's basically a lot of networking also. Not just seeing the vendors and the equipment, but there's a lot of conferences and work sessions and classroom sessions. So it's really good. We get a lot out of it.
What is the organization?
It's FDIC International.
Okay. Okay, we'll come back to that. Do you have anything else in your report?
No, I'm pretty good right now.
Okay, number 8, activity report, Assistant Chief Ted Puckwitz.
All right. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So I have December of last year, we did 28 calls, 178.74 hours. That brought us to a total of 446 calls for the year and 3,082.74 hours. Of those, we did 1 fire, we did 2 rescue calls, we did 12 hazardous conditions, 2 service calls, 4 good intent calls, and 7 false calls. Of the motor vehicle accidents, we did 9 motor vehicle accidents that were just basic, everyday speedy dry and tow the vehicles. There was 1 extrication that was done, and then we had 1 special extrication at one of the assisted living facilities where a patient was driving their motorized wheelchair, and the blanket got tangled up in the wheel and they were basically trapped in. We had to disassemble part of the machine to get them out. So that was kind of a different call than we normally have. When you look at the full year, it was 446 calls for 3,082.7. Of those, when you break it down, 27 of them were fires. There were 2 overpressure explosions or excessive heat with no fire. There were 13 rescue emergency service calls, 171 hazardous condition calls. That's where you find your wires, your motor vehicles, that kind of stuff. 26 calls for service, 49 good intent calls, 148 false calls, and 10 weather-related calls, whether it's a standby or we go out and evaluate and find that there's no fire hazard after a storm.
Okay, could we get those reports through Tina?
Yes, I will make sure. I think I already sent it to her, but I'll make sure that she has the full year report, so you can compare historic data. Just so you know, on average, the average from 2010 through last year was 483 calls, so we're pretty close to the average, slightly below, and the average hours were 4,531.98. So we're slightly less hours also. Then I have January of this year. We did 32 calls for 278.32 hours. Of those, we had 2 that were considered fires, 1 overpressure explosion, no heat, 1 rescue, assist the medic, 13 hazardous condition, no fire, 5 service calls, 1 good intent call, 8 false calls, and then the 1 severe weather, which was the standby. When you break that down, we had 5 motor vehicle accidents. And amazingly enough, after not having any, we had a second person that was trapped and we had to disassemble part of a wheelchair to get him out at one of the other assisted living facilities here in town. So on average, January had 39 calls, 553.85 hours. So we're slightly below on the number of calls, but the time we spend is a lot less.
Karen, are you looking for year-over-year numbers?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like to compare the end.
Yes. So that's the report we should be looking at.
So I will make sure Tina has it tomorrow morning and she can email it over to everybody to look over year over year. There's a lot of historic data from 2010 on for number wise.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Anybody questions? Fire Marshal's report.
Okay. Oh, excuse me. 24 inspections. I consulted 7 times, 13 plan reviews. We had 3 fires this month since the first of the year. Walker Lane, the college students cleaned out the wood stove. They put the ashes in Tupperware, burnt a hole through the floor. We had a fire on Newton Road, chimney fire. And we had a fire on Westward Road, it was a dehumidifier burning in the basement. The first two of the people stayed in the home. The second, Westward Road one, the gentleman stayed with friends. He's got a company cleaning the odor of smoke out of the house. What else did I? Oh, a public fire education, one call, and I handled 2 complaints. Other than that, that was it.
Okay, anybody have questions on that? Okay, correspondence, do we have any correspondence?
Hi, Karen, Steve. We don't have any correspondence, but I just wanted to note that Mike Horton had his daughter had a baby, had a grandson, and Joe Capucci's daughter had a baby, had a grandson.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Grandpa.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tina. Okay, if you haven't had a chance, let's take a look at the January meeting minutes. Anybody have any comments on those? Okay, well, I would ask for a motion to approve the January 3rd meeting minutes of special meeting of the Board of Fire Commissioners.
Pasquale Izzo, motion.
Thank you. Have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Steph. Any further discussion or change? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of approving the minutes of the January 3rd, 2022 special meeting, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously. Okay, our next meeting date is March 21st. Does anybody have a problem, conflict with that date?
No, I'm good.
All right.
Works for me.
Okay, and I would ask for a motion to go into executive session as indicated on the agenda, item number 13, and to invite in Chief Sean Rowland and liaison to the association, Nate Case.
A motion to go into executive session.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? I say aye.
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 Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carries unanimously. We are in executive session.